So, do you ever wonder why it seems that some people just have a lot of money and it comes so easy and it doesn't seem like they have to do much, right? Have you ever seen that? Did you know that there are money blocks, mental mindsets that can block you from the abundance of money? I'm going to teach in this video on how you can remove all money blocks and begin to receive the abundance of money that you desire. So we're going to unblock the abundance of money. Who is ready to grow in your finances, grow in your income, grow in your business and profitable in money, and talk about money? We all have something to talk about when it comes to money, right? Money is our economic way. That is how we live in this economy, in this world. You know, things cost. Water costs. Electric, lights, gas. So let's talk about money. So we're talking about unblocking the abundance of money. A lot of times what holds us back from the abundance of money, the abundance which is unlimited. There's no limit. The overflowing currency that's available. A lot of times people want you to believe that there is a scarcity, there's a lack, a limitation, when there is an abundance of money available, and just being able to tap in to the energy of unblocking everything that's holding you back in your finances. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some money blocks. We're going to get free from some things. So first and foremost, one of the biggest things that block us from our abundance of money is our past, our dwelling in the past, our thinking about how we grew up and what our parents had and what we're used to and where we started off and what we made last year and how much we did in sales or how much we didn't make last year or what money we lost. Our past can hold us back, or even what happened yesterday, what bill came in the mail, what debt collectors are coming after you. A lot of that stuff that has happened can block you from receiving the abundance of money that is available for you. And you may be thinking, well, how is the abundance of money? Well, what I've been seeing lack. How is this? No, just like there is an abundance of love to tap in, an abundance of joy, and how as we connect with God is an abundant God. We have abundance is our nature. We are created to be abundance. Abundance is our birthright. And so when we tap into who we are, the unlimited flow of abundance, we can apply that message in every area of our life, including our finances. Aren't you tired of people just talking about finances like it's just a logical limit thing and it's counted in numbers and things have to make sense? No, that's not just like we can attract loving relationships and attract, a healthy, happy lifestyle. We can attract abundance of money in the same way. It's no different because it's money, right? And so we have to first work on our mindset. We got to first do the work to unblock ourselves from the past thinking, the mental mindset that has blocked us from the abundance of money. So we got to stop dwelling in the past. We got to let go of the past. We got to understand that each day is a new day, a new opportunity to create something new, a new opportunity to allow something new to flow into your life. You don't know who, and a lot of things, I love this because many of you may know Tyler Perry, but if you don't know Tyler Perry, he's a billionaire and he's made a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows. And one of the things he said in an interview, he said that all of his success, of him writing plays and writing movies, he said the major part of his success happened, and he couldn't have planned it. He couldn't have orchestrated it. But the things that lined up, the opportunities, the connections, the relationships was all spiritual. And he talked about even like his deals and his multi-million-dollar profitable movies and things like that. He said it was all set up and it was nothing but God. And it wasn't something he could have planned or figured out or strategized himself. And so a lot of times we get to thinking because, well, we know what kind of job we're used to and we know what kind of connections we're used to having, but you don't know what could be orchestrated and set out for you moving forward. If you changed your expectation, if you opened up your mind to receive the abundance that is available to you, what things can line up in your favor? What opportunities, what connections, what relationships can line up in your favor? One of the things I want us to do today is to let go of the limitations. I want you to type that in the comments. I'm letting go of limitations. I'm letting go of limitations, because the limitations is what hold us back from even receiving abundance. And so we have to stop focusing on our current financial situation. Think of it this way. When you get in a car and you got somewhere to be, you know the address, and you put the address in the GPS system, and you're like, okay, I know this is where I want to go. Do your GPS system ever ask you, where were you at before? Tell me where you've been. Before I take you there, I need to know where you've been. No. That GPS system does not care where you've been. They just want to know where you're going. Where do you want to go? Okay, let me get you there. And here's the thing. When you on your way to wherever it is you're supposed to go, and your GPS system is telling you, okay, make this left turn, make this right turn, go here, go there, you're going to just follow the direction, or are you going to turn and go the way you want to go? And you know, when you make that wrong turn, your GPS system is going to say, nope, make a U-turn when it's safe. It's time, you got to go back this way. See, a lot of times what we do is we know where we want to go financially. We know what we desire. We desire financial abundance, and that's our destination. That's what we want. We're putting into the GPS system. And then when it's time for us to get there, we're going the wrong way, trying to control it instead of allowing ourselves to be guided, And what is your GPS system? Your inner knowing, being guided. See, God works in your inner knowing. And see, even in your finances, God can guide you into certain things, guide you into certain opportunities. I know so many times I was guided into writing certain books and connecting with certain people and mentors and learning certain things that really grew me in my business and grew my finances, and continuing to grow my finances as I'm continually led. I'm not trying to figure it out on my own. I know where I'm going. That's all I need to know. I know the goal and where I see myself, and I feel it. I know I'm going to get there. I know where I want to be, right? But I have to learn how to be led on that journey. And I can't limit myself by, oh, I've never been here before, or my past, or where I've been, or where I've gone, because it doesn't matter where you've been. It's where you're going. And so focus on where you're going. Stop focusing on where you've been and how hard it was last year and how much money you lost and how much something costs, or what that bill looks like, or what that bank account looks like right now. We're not worried about that. We're looking at where we're going. We're looking at where we're headed. We're following and we're being guided as we move forward. My last point before I invite the expert on, the financial expert, my husband, Patrick Howard, author. Before I invite him on, I want to leave y'all with this. I want you to feel like abundance. I want you to feel like abundance. Whenever something like in your mind makes you think about a shortage of money, or you get to thinking about, man, I don't have enough, or this happened or that happened, I want you to start thinking about the abundance of trees. Every time you go outside and you just see abundance of trees, I want you to think about the abundance of oxygen that you breathe in and breathe out, and it's unlimited. And I want you to look at that and say, just like the oxygen, just like the trees, there's abundance of money. And I know that much of that money has my name on it. And I know, I see it, I feel it, I envision, I believe it for myself. And I believe that I am led to the right opportunities, the right connections, the right business deals and business partnerships and strategies, or whatever, job opportunities, promotions and connections. I know that I am led to the right opportunities as I am allowing myself to be guided. So I'm going to feel abundant. I'm going to feel wealthy. I'm going to feel blessed. I'm going to feel prosperous. I'm going to feel opulent. Just feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. I want y'all to type that in the comments. I feel abundant. I feel abundant. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and share today's book of the day, Money Loves Attention by Patrick Howard, my husband, who is a tax and financial expert. He's been an accountant for, almost 20 years now. It's been a while, He's been doing this and he's an expert. It's lessons on financial freedom and how to avoid a toxic relationship with money. You want to read this book. I actually had a lot of aha moments just reading this book. All right. So guys, you can get this at moneylovesattention.com. So check it out, guys. And I'm going to have Patrick come on and join me because we're going to talk some more. We're going to talk about your book, and then, I know you have some questions, but share some things in the book as far as like money loves attention and how those money blocks and how we view our past and all that, how that can hinder us from growing financially.
Yeah, so especially when you think about the book, that was the basis of why I wrote it, because I was just thinking about all the things that I do with some of my clients and stuff like that. And just in the midst of our conversations, I was reminded, and just it came to me that some of the financial states that people are currently in is based on their previous thoughts. And the things that they've experienced in life are really some of the things that are holding them back from moving forward. So whether it's more money, more problems, or money don't grow on trees, or, a number of different slogans that we've heard throughout the years when we were coming up, all of those things have been ingrained in our minds to keep us from pursuing things that we feel that we desire, or they hold us back from even aligning ourselves with certain opportunities. That's what made me think about, writing the book and just kind of talking about it, just to expose those things so that people don't just, get tied up into that with money.
And here's the thing, guys. Everything we hear in media and pop culture, we don't have to receive it. We don't have to believe it. We can make a decision to say, I choose to believe that money comes easily and it flows to me freely. If you really want to believe that, you can reprogram your mind to believe it and actually see the evidence of it. It's really a process. Really, it starts with your mind. It starts with your mind, managing your money and learning how to grow financially. It starts mentally. It starts with mindset. But there's a lot of people who are distracted by what pop culture says, and I don't want to be rich because it brings problems, or I don't want to have a lot of money because other people are gonna.
Because I gotta pay a lot of taxes.
I have to pay a lot of taxes, or other people are gonna. But regardless of where you are, you want a certain lifestyle. Instead of looking at how much things cost and how much you're gonna have to pay, look at what you desire and open yourself to receive more instead of limiting yourself based off of what you've already have had in the past.
Yeah. And I think one of the key things to that is we have to get to the place where we can just look beyond our current circumstances and our resources. We need to reprogram our minds to say, not only I'm no longer tied in, I'm no longer going to be a slave to what I see in my bank account. I'm no longer a slave to what I see and what people say my resources are. I'm connected to an unlimited source. I have an unlimited source that I don't have to limit myself in any area of my life financially, because God is my source and there are no limits to what God can provide for me, and on my behalf.
Exactly. Unlimited. I think that it's so important that we understand that we gotta put out the effort as far as saying, we gotta declare some things over our life. We gotta make a decision. I remember when I made that decision in my life, this was a few years ago, and I felt like, I was dealing with health issues and money issues and things like that. And I remember it's like a few years ago, and I wrote about this in Miracles in Your Mouth, when we sold our home and all the stuff we went through and things like that. Financially, we lost a great amount of money we didn't expect to lose, and we had went through a big financial crisis at that time. And then in addition to that, I was dealing with health things. I had gained weight, and I remember I made a decision. I said, that's it. I am going to be healthy and wealthy and live a happy, loving life. I made that decision. I said, I'm no longer going to settle for anything less. And I committed to that. I didn't know what was going to transpire, who I was going to meet, how I was going to do it, how I was going to take my business and grow it the way that it did. I didn't know any of that. I just made a decision. I just mentally decided and said, I'm going forward. If you're not going to mentally make a decision that you're willing, because some people feel bad. And I'll tell you, for years, I felt like it was a struggle because I felt like, can I still be spiritual and wealthy? And that's crazy to think that now when I think about it now. But a lot of people feel like, they're going against God if they want to be wealthy financially, or money means it's the opposite of good or something like that. So I had to check those blocks, those money blocks, those mindset blocks that really was stopping me from receiving the abundance that was already there for me.
Yeah, and like you said, it really starts with mind and what you're thinking. The truth is that we have the power to live a life filled with health, wealth, and love, and it starts with our thinking. And what we have to do, just like you said, use affirmations, use the word of God to affirm ourselves, to say, God's desire for me is to have life and to have it more abundantly. Yes. It's not for me to have life of lack and of struggle. God desires for me to live an abundant life. And not only does God desire for me to live a life of abundance, I'm not a victim or a captive to what things look like. I'm not a captive to what things look like because I know my source has enough supply to provide everything that I need on a daily basis.
Yes.
So there is no point where I have to be like, oh yeah, I'm strapped for cash right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I ain't got it, but God will provide that daily bread that you need. So you don't have to be looking so far out and bringing so much stress for the sake of false security. You can have sanity, financial sanity, just by trusting and affirming yourself in what the word of God says.
Yeah, that was my favorite affirmation. God is the source of my supply, and money comes easily and effortlessly. I used to say that over and over again because I used to think about how, the mind is constantly wondering how, when, where, what. And so I would be like, believing for, opportunities to open up and connections and bills to be paid. And it'll be like, I'll have these things ahead of me believing. And then my mind would say, how would this happen? And I would say, God is the source of my supply. It's like people look at their jobs as their source, or they look at, their business as their source, or their spouse as their source. No, you got to know who your source is and where it comes from. Even if you're single, if you're married, wherever, if you're just divorced or whatever, you got to trust and know, even when people don't work out or people can't be there or whatever situations, or the economy change or whatever change in the industry, or, things shift and everybody losing out or whatever, you got to still stand on the fact that God is the source of your supply, and you're going to always be okay. And he's going to always allow you to find the money, to connect with the people, people, to build the business, to get the sales, to reap the profit, the income, the increase. That's what's important.
Right. And because that's what I've seen too. As a financial consultant and tax accountant, some of the biggest things that I've seen is that the issue isn't that people don't know some of the things to do with their finances. It's their mindset that holds them back.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do know. They know, oh, yeah, I know I need to have a budget. Oh, I know I need to monitor this. Or I know I need to be saving in a certain way. But that's not really the reason why they're in the place that they're in. It's not because they don't know. It's because of what they believe.
Yeah.
That keeps them from activating things that they already know they should be doing. Things that we already know. We already know God is our abundance. Yes. God provides all of our needs according to his riches and glory. We already know that. Mm-hmm. There are things that we experience in life that causes us to not even, acknowledge them.
Yes, God is the source of my supply. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Increasing quantities through multiple sources. That's right. Speak those things over your life. Speak life over your life. I want you guys, if you have questions, go ahead and feel free to type in your questions in the comment section. And Patrick is going to read some questions that we have.
So I'll start with this question then. I've always been taking care of people in my family and working, and sometimes I find it hard to receive from others. How do I connect more with allowing myself to receive?
And this is, that's a good question, because a lot of times it's very challenging to receive when you're used to being a generous person, and especially if you grew up in lack. If you saw struggle, financial struggle, if you saw any levels of poverty or anything like that, it can be a challenge to learn how to receive. And people may say, that don't make sense. I think it's easy to receive, it's harder to give. But really, a lot of times we're programmed to give and please everybody and serve everybody and make everybody happy and do for others, that we don't always know how to receive. As adults, we're trained so much, when we're kids, to overdo it for other people and lose yourself in a sense where you don't know how to receive. And so receiving is also a skill, and it takes practice, but you can block your gifts if you don't know how to receive. And so a part of receiving is working on your self-image and self-worth, because a lot of people don't believe they're worthy of receiving good. Some people they settle in relationships, they settle in income levels and jobs and they really do have a desire for more, but something in them holds them back from receiving more. Sometimes it's guilt. Sometimes because they're looking at the people around them and they're looking at, other people are struggling and they're going through, who am I to receive? You can never be poor. You can't never be too poor to where you help the poor, or you can't be too sick to where you help the sick. Really deplete yourself in any way to help somebody else. But really, you help others when you help you, when you're healthy. When you're healthy, you can help people who aren't. You can inspire them to want to be healthy. When you're wealthy, you can help even more people and yourself and inspire people to be wealthy as well. I think the problem is, don't hold yourself back because you think, well, I need to struggle. I need to be poor because they poor, or I need to struggle because they're struggling. But you're really holding everybody back, you and everybody else, because not only can't you inspire them to grow in wealth and happiness and love and health, but you're depleting yourself. So what good does it give for you to dim your own light? Shine. Yeah. People need to see it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important, and that's really what you should work on in order to really be in a place of receiving.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head too, especially with just allowing yourself to shine. I feel like some people that I come across, they are ashamed to shine in the midst of seeing so many people go through challenges. And I think that you allowing yourself and allowing your light to shine gives others an opportunity to see hope.
Yes.
And they get an opportunity to see that there are alternatives and there are different ways to approach even similar circumstances. Because, you know, even your neighbor, somebody, you know, your family member, someone close to you, they can be inspired by you allowing your light to shine. So never be ashamed to allow people to see what God is doing for you.
Yes, yes.
And you said you had another question?
Yeah.
This question came around the time when you said there's an unlimited amount of money out there. He said, what are we going to do with all that money? It kind of reminds me of like the fear of growing and you know, going higher in our money financial life.
You know, that's the beauty, because we're constantly evolving. We're evolving as a society. If we look back 10 years ago, we didn't have what we have now, the type of phones we have now, the internet, the technology, the software. There's so much to do with the abundance of money, the currency, the man-made way of us continuing to evolve and grow as people. The thing is to continue to let yourself dream. Let yourself envision more. Let yourself grow. Continue to let yourself evolve. Don't hold yourself back. Don't hold your income back. Don't hold your business back. Always think of how can I play it big? I was on an interview the other day and somebody asked me, what is one thing you want to accomplish? And I said, I'm going to sell 1 million books, you know, and I'm going to do it soon. And I've been saying it because I've grown in that faith where I know it's already done. And now I have the strategy. Now I have team. I have, you know, a business coach, and I have mentors and people around me that are actually helping me accomplish that. So whatever it is you want to do, keep doing it. Keep shooting for the moon, you know, because I hear somebody say the main thing people regret at the end of their life is that they only went for, you know, the small things they hoped for and they actually got it. If they would have went a little bigger and went beyond, you know, the small thing that they knew they could do, who would know what that could have done for them? You know, I think of the things that I've been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time is because I've stretched myself, and I continue to stretch myself. So you got to stretch yourself. That's what we do with the money, with all that money. We stretch ourselves. We say, hey, I did great. Let's see how even greater. I'm not looking at the success of last year or the year before or what I've done before. No, I want to go even bigger. I want to go even greater. I want to do even more. And so that's what we got to look at.
Yeah. And just think too, you know, just on a even broader scale, you know, I would feel like I didn't add a little bit of financial topic, you know, just practical information. If I don't at least say this, that sometimes we get ideas and visions that aren't just for ourselves, you know, and I did a video a couple of days ago. It was about an education savings plan, and one of the questions came up about what if your child doesn't intend on going to school. But one of the things that I gave, the information that I gave them is that if we were inspired to do such a thing in that way, this is in regards to having an abundance of finance. If we're inspired to do something now, don't just look at it for your benefit today. You have the opportunity to do with what you have today to be impactful for generations to come. Don't limit yourself even on what you can see in your own lifetime, because you can be setting something up right now that will be beneficial for your grandchildren and for your children's grandchildren, that ultimately is a part of all the you operating in the vision that God placed inside of you today. So never limit yourself on what you see now, even on your own lifetime, because you have the ability to be impactful well beyond what you can currently see, and even beyond the individuals that are currently around you. May it be your children's children or generations to come.
So yes, keep going, keep growing. Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions?
So are we supposed to help others before we help out ourselves?
First, we got to make sure we take care of us. If you ever flown a plane before, they say if an emergency happened, you put your oxygen mask on first, then you help your child or whoever is around you. But if you don't put your own oxygen mask on, not only will you be in harm, but your other person, the people around you, you can't help them. You got to make sure you take care of you first. You got to make sure you take care of your household, your home, your family. You got to make sure you're good. Just because you get some extra money don't mean you need to go and save the world and deplete yourself. You got to learn how to stack up some money, and invest some money and make some wise decisions. This is why we're having these conversations and having Financial Fridays, because I believe this is a very important topic that we need to talk more about. And people need to be okay with getting their house in order and not feeling guilty about it. It's just another form of self-love, which is important. Mind, body, and spirit, healing yourself from the inside out so that you're strong enough to do even more. That's what abundance is. It's overflowing. If this cup was full to the brim and it was still water pouring, it will be flowing out. Whatever's coming out is what's for everybody else, but what's in there is for you and yours. And just because you feel to the top and you got more than enough, don't mean that you need to pour yourself empty. So make sure that you're overflowing abundantly. You taking care of you and your home, and getting your things in order so that you can do even greater things for the people around you, for the visions you have, for the charity and the things that you want to do to give back.
And things that you are inspired by.
Exactly.
Because that's another thing that I talk about in the book, especially as it relates to giving and gratitude. I think we're in the best place to give when we're inspired. I don't think that you should ever be in a place where you feel obligated, you feel pressure, or you feel like you're forced to do something as it relates to giving or anything like that. I think you should be a cheerful giver, and being a cheerful giver is giving from a place of inspiration. And wherever that is, whether you receive great service at a restaurant or you're inspired by something your family communicated to you, being free enough to allow that inspiration to lead you to give and not be limited to, I gotta give here, I can only give in this space, or I can only give in this space, but allowing yourself that freedom to be led by your inspiration and to give where you feel the need is and where you're encouraged at.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us today. Continue to tune in with us. Share the video, tag it, share with your friends. Continue to tune in live on Facebook every Monday and Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Also join us on YouTube. We got a lot of great videos and show footage on YouTube as well. Make sure you go to moneylovesattention.com and get this book, the book of the day today. We enjoyed this conversation. I want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you thought about this message. Give us your feedback, inbox us. Let us know if you have any questions or show ideas. We would love to hear from you. We love you guys so much. Thanks so much for joining us. See you in the next show. Thanks so much for watching. I want to hear from you. What are some money blocks or mindset blocks that are holding you back from receiving the abundance of money you desire? I want to hear from you, so leave me a comment and let me know. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for joining us in this show. We want to continue to serve you in our videos, and we'll see you in the next one.